You're listening to a special edition of the IndyCar Report with Elijah Poe. And before we get to Elijah and our guest, Michelle Garmon, the sports editor of the Tipton Tribune and Elwood call leader, just want to go over the final results from the first race of the season in St. Petersburg. Right now, Elijah is with me. Michelle, we are waiting to join us, but Alex Palou, the three-time defending series champion, took the lead after the first set of pit stops and drove away. Elijah drove away.
Just absolutely incredible. You know, we talked about it all off season, how, you know, he was going to be the best of the field until we see him get dethroned. And he came out today and just a perfect pit strategy, perfect execution, just Mr. Perfect again from Alex Palou.
Scott McLaughlin was second. Christian Lundgaard, great day, in third. Kyle Kirkwood, despite a bit of an incident late in the race, finished fourth. Pato O'Ward fifth. Then Marcus Ericsson, Josef Newgarden, Romain Grosjean, Rinus Veekay, and Dennis Hauger, a rookie, in the top 10. Marcus Armstrong, Felix Rosenquist, David Malukas, what was he thinking? Louis Foster, Kiffin Simpson, Alexander Rossi, K.O. Collette, and Graham Rahal, Christian Rasmussen, and Nolan Siegel. That's your top 20. And then Stingray Robb, who took out Santino Ferrucci and Schumacher first. Oh, sorry. Then went on and finished ahead of those two, which doesn't seem right. He was 21st, then Will Power 22nd. Scott Dixon had an accident, post-pit accident, finished 23rd. He looked like he was in great shape to win the race. And then an early crash with Santino Ferrucci and Mick Schumacher. Elijah, take it away.
IndyCar was officially back this week on the streets of St. Pete, and no one other than Alex Palou takes it away in the first race of the IndyCar season. A lot of ups and downs. I'm here with Greg and Michelle Garmon to get into it. And, well, what do you guys think? Alex Palou just absolutely stellar today with a pit stop sequence to take first and ran away with it.
Honestly, Elijah, I was surprised from the beginning that he didn't make a very big move, that he kind of just hung out there in fourth. But once he was in the lead, he was gone. And kind of a seamless kind of performance, just kind of out there by himself. And I think he's going to get more pressure later in the year. But, man, awfully impressive, Michelle.
You know, very impressive. I think maybe we all just don't realize what he has a lot of because he's always out front so much, but his patience. And he showed that today, being patient through the early part of the race, knowing that, you know, his team is good enough to keep him up front and get him to the front. And by golly, once he's in front, there is no one better. And that's also because of the great team he has behind him. He builds up a 7-8 second lead. He's going to the pits. He's coming out. He's coming out in first. He's going to be in first after it cycles through, because that whole team is just so good.
They really are. And I was honestly sitting there, I was thinking, you know, why doesn't somebody just pit with Palou? And because he does this almost every race. He'll go the overcut and he'll get them on that pit sequence every time. But almost have to feel bad for Scott McLaughlin as well, who had a near perfect day if it wasn't for Mr. Perfect himself, Alex Palou, stealing that win.
Yeah, I guess that's good news for Penske, right? To see McLaughlin have a good day, to see Newgarden make some of the moves he did. I think all those other race teams, you know, they only have a few days now to try to figure out how to apply more pressure and to compete better with Chip Ganassi, Alex Palou, and Car 10.
It was really racy behind Palou again, Elijah. I think people might look at this and go, oh, boring, Alex Palou wins again. But it really was a fun race. And it was a bit of a bummer that Palou went out in front and kind of ran away from the rest of the field. But otherwise, really fun race on the streets of St. Petersburg.
It was, especially with 3 laps to go. You had McLaughlin, Lundgaard, and Kirkwood all within maybe 5/10 of each other, and they were really, really hauling around St. Pete. A great move by Scott McLaughlin and Christian Lundgaard. on lap with 7 to go. Christian Lundgaard and Scott McLaughlin were able to pass Kirkwood. It kind of slid him down to 4th. I think he was maybe dealing with some tire issues as well. Wasn't able to maintain that, and I know he was light on fuel as well, but still a good result for Kirkwood, who started the day all the way down in 15th.
Yeah, it really was a good day for Andretti Racing as well. The racing behind Palou after he got that big lead was great, but I thought the racing overall was really good. I know you guys made mention of it in our little group text chat that we do. I thought Fox nailed it with the different camera angles and everything, and I thought it was a very well broadcasted race.
Fantastic. I saw parts of that race course I've never seen before, different angles that we have never, ever seen before, and that was pretty cool. Got to say that.
That was super unique. I will listen to Hinchcliffe's podcast, and I remember him saying earlier in the summer, to think that Fox had, the first time they showed up to St. Pete last year, they signed that deal maybe 4 months ahead. So they already had these camera locations planned out for this race, and man, it really did look great on TV. And the booth, as ever, were with Hinchcliffe and Townsend Bell and Will Buxton, I thought were super, super solid today.
Oh, Bell and Hinchcliffe are so good together. I don't care who the play-by-play guy is. They all kind of run together to me, but those two together are amazing. Interesting stat. Most passes on track today. Christian Lundgaard and Rinus Veekay were the leaders with 10 apiece. Veekay finishing 9th.
Just a huge day for both of them as well. For Lundgaard to start all the way down in 12th, had a unlucky qualifying situation there, but him and Pato were really carving that field together, and Lundgaard was able to make that move on Pato when Kirkwood came out of the pits. But for Veekay as well, he's brand new team with Juncos Hollinger Racing, and we kind of saw him do this with Dale Coyne last year, just keep on chipping away and putting those top 10 performances in the bank, and by the time you do that the whole season, you're going to have a pretty penny worth of points with you.
Yeah, nice job, nice racing by both of them to do what they did, especially like you said, Elijah with Veekay and switching up teams this year. He had a really solid race day. I would think that they have to be pleased.
And by the way, on the opposite end, Dennis Hauger 0 on track passes. Interesting.
He did look like a rookie today, but still a top 10 from starting 3rd. I don't think that's horrible.
Romain Grosjean just won. I love that stat. It's always interesting to see who was the most racy. Kirkwood, by the way, 9 was the 3rd most passes on the day. Alexander Rossi had 8, and he moved from last place to 16th. So still not a great day for Ed Carpenter, but that kind of puts it a little bit in perspective.
It really does. Not a great day for them. He was slowest yesterday in qualifying, and I think he was also one of those drivers who was trying to go long before Dixon had that yellow flag come out, and I think kind of spoiled any chance of a strategy. But still, to not be dead last and get points, at least you're finishing the race.
Hey, let's talk about that with Dixon for just a minute. I'm losing a tire. That's just something that if you don't have those lug nuts on tight enough, that's just something you do not expect to see from the 9 team. They've been at it a lot of years, and they're also very good. I've always thought Chip Ganassi has some of the best pit crews, race teams from the guys that work the pits and everything.
And also Kyle Kirkwood had the fastest lap of the day. 1 minute, 2 seconds, .213. Interesting.
Really good day for him. Even if
That's quite a bit faster than Palou's fastest time. Even
if he didn't end up in a podium position, getting that top 4 from starting all the way down in 15th is what you want to see. And especially if there is going to be somebody to challenge Palou. We kind of need these top 5, top 7 drivers to really compete and consistently be up there with Palou, because we know Palou is going to be in the top 10, almost guaranteed.
Yeah, the good news for the championship race is the other guys expected to be contenders. McLaughlin, Kirkwood, O'Ward, Newgarden all finished in the top 7, so we still have an interesting championship race, at least through one race.
Yeah. Another championship hopeful we can talk about, David Malukas as well. Just kind of burning that tire in the first couple opening laps after that restart and ended up falling off on him.
As he was doing it, Michelle, I was thinking, what is he doing? He ruined his chances to compete in the race.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of maybe a little uncharacteristic of a mental thing for him, but also moving over to Team Penske, maybe he just felt like he didn't want to possibly make a major error early in the race and get caught up in a crash and not finish at all. I don't know. I think you learn from this. It'll be interesting to see how he bounces back next week.
A weird incident. He just went to the inside coming into turn one. I think maybe he thought there was somebody closing in on that gap, but there was really no cars close to him at all.
No one to pass him, and he just took a lane that was clearly treacherous. And
ended up locking up that tire, and soon enough, that tire had enough wear on it where that thing just came undone on that second stretch into turn three.
I hope Malukas rebounds, gets some wins, but not a great start for him. And interesting now that everybody is kind of officially, I guess, chasing Alex Palou because this is his series now, man. This is his series.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's going to be really hard to top. I think it's going to be fun to see what happens next week because we are going on a short oval. If there's anything crazy that's going to happen, it's going to happen on a short oval. So it'd be pretty mind-blowing if he's able to walk away with 2 in a row. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd be a little surprised if he wins Phoenix.
I think I'm really looking forward to next week's race because I really enjoy those short ovals. I think they make for really exciting racing with these cars.
Man, when I was growing up, the short ovals were the ones that were just they got in line and they didn't pass each other much. Man, the short ovals now are so good.
Yeah, I really hope they're able to put in a high line because they're obviously sharing this track with NASCAR this weekend, which is going to be great with the IndyCar race on Saturday, NASCAR on Sunday. Even though I'd rather be comparison to NASCAR, whatever puts more butts in seats, I'm here for it. It's going to be a really good weekend.
Oh, I love the comparison. Anytime people can go, hey, here's IndyCar and here's NASCAR, we know which one they're going to see as the better series, right?
Oh, especially the speed.
All of it, though. It's better racing now. It's better speed. It's more talented drivers. I think it's superior in every way to NASCAR. I might be biased.
No, Greg, I kind of agree with you. I used to watch a lot of NASCAR. I find it hard to watch an entire NASCAR race now. I don't know, and maybe it is because it's the influx of the newer drivers but I just don't see the same fun racing in NASCAR that they used to have.
And don't get me wrong, it's fun sometimes. I'm not saying it's not good racing sometimes, but I find IndyCar, Elijah, just superior in every way.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I think, the problem with NASCAR, we talk about the key NASCAR when maybe in the 2000s, all the drivers had the same paint schemes. The drivers had great personalities. And you look at NASCAR nowadays and you don't hardly know anybody and everybody's sponsors change on the car from week to week. And when you have a field of 45 drivers, it's just, you're looking at a blob of cars. That's really all it is.
That's the way I see it, Elijah. Man, can't wait for the Oval next week. It's going to be so much fun.
3:00 start on Saturday.
Fantastic. I love Phoenix. I've been to that race. It's one of my all-time favorites, and it always delivers.
Yeah, I may have to kind of watch the replay of that. I have a birthday party for my great niece next Saturday afternoon. It starts at noon and usually ends around between 3 and 4. So I may be on the road, but I will be recording the race and I'll tune it in as soon as I get back. And then if there's anything exciting that happened earlier that I want to go back and watch, I'll hit the recording.
That reminds me, next week's race is the same night as boys basketball sectional, so it may be a late reaction. We might be able to get it done on time, but we might not. So just let everybody know that next week's reaction might be a little off. Also, Elijah's going to be on Monday's Greg and his friends talk sports, recapping this race as well. Check it out. It's awesome. Me and my friends, we talk sports about 10 to 20, 30 minutes every day, whatever Central Indiana sports fans are talking about. Michelle is a guest, probably the most common guest so far. And Elijah is on there to talk IndyCar, and can't wait to talk some IndyCar with him on that. And he also going to talk some Ball State women's basketball with me, right?
Sure will. I covered the team for 3 years, and even though I don't cover them this year for the Ball State Daily News, I'm sure as heck a fan of Brady Sally, that's for sure.
Hey, Elijah, you think maybe we could see a Ball State IU women in the a matchup in the WNIT? If Ball State doesn't win the MAC?
No, Ball State's going to the NCAA. Come on.
Yeah, I think there's a chance Ball State ends up back up in the NCAA if they win the MAC tournament.
That's what I meant. If they don't win the MAC tournament, they probably won't get there.
We'd love to see that.
Yeah, I could see maybe in the WNIT if they lose, or maybe the new WBIT, the new tournament, which is usually would fall into their range of the high mid-majors and some low D1 schools.
Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. And we will be back all week next week as we preview the Phoenix race. Thanks, everybody, so much for listening. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Hey, Susie. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of IPG Media, and I love you.
Yay.